Hi. I am in our cabin. It has full south-facing sun, so I actually don't know if it was going to work so well. I hope it'll be all right. I mean, it's lovely and sunny. It's a building site, so there's wood shavings all over the floor, and there is just wood everywhere, like because that's going to be going on the walls at some point in different areas, and the trims around the windows. And there will be, basically it's very cluttered. And my seat is a little step ladder, so that's all good fun, but I can't actually see and I need sunglasses. So I could take you for a little look at the cabin area. So this is that there's some there's some scaffolding planks on top of some trestles, and that's there's, I don't know if you can see, but that's like the living room walls, and there's the kitchen, just a cheap kitchen that we got £100 secondhand. All sorts. I mean, there's a bedroom through there somewhere. I don't know if you can see it properly. There's a bedroom through there and a shower room and stuff. It's all going to be amazing when it eventually happens. And we hopefully it'll be about a month till we move in. So if you are, if you're here, so will you want to say hello just so I know who's here for yoga? It might be, even if it's you and you can't, and if you can't work, it's hard to do on your telly, and you don't need to say hello, that's fine. And you could always just WhatsApp me or something. But I'm sure I'll work out who's here. So I'm loath to start until I know that at least one or two of the people who I'm expecting. Oh, yes, you're here. Okay, great. So at least I know there's one person here who I'm expecting to be here, who I thought might be here. Eve, were you here from the beginning? Did you get to see, the little bit of the cabin? Although you've seen it already on a video, haven't you? Actually, I was painting in the cabin till past 11 o'clock last night. So I'm really tired. I can't handle late nights. Oh dear. Great. Okay, so that's one bit like, whoa. Okay, so maybe I will see. Let's just see if I can get the positioning okay. I hope it's just not going to be too bright, so hopefully you'll be able to see me okay. So this would be good to have a bit of feedback on this, because look, my orange mat is now confusing whether or not it's a bit of the floor or not. There's bits of wood there. Oh, and there's that trellisy thing. Well, it's quite fun in a way, isn't it? I just hope you can see me okay. So I guess I could bring you closer. So I think I would normally be a tiny bit closer than that. And it's kind of okay with the standing. It's the standing ones that you want to make sure. It's the standing ones you want to make sure that you've got enough height for. Thanks for putting up with it. Just new location. The panels behind are not a fence, because at the moment I feel like they look like a fence outside. They're actually, we're actually doing kind of like the half the bottom of the wall is basically all in tongue and groove paneling. Okay, can you see me okay? I hope you can. It's so light. I think I'm gonna have to get some like soft curtains for days like this, because it's actually probably too much. Just have some something I can hang up, or some softer curtains or something. So okay. If anyone else wants to say they're here, then say hello. Oh, there we are. We've got someone. I'll let you. I can see fine, but blurry, but still okay. A bit blurry. I wonder if that's the internet, or it might be just that it's a bit weird because of the bright sun. So it could be the internet. And I'll just check that. I'm just checking my webcam to make sure it's not being affected by anything. So hello, anyone new who's just come. We're just doing, this is the first time I'm trying out teaching yoga in our cabin, which is still in process. And basically, it's a bit bright. So we're just going to see what it's like, because it's so bright. It might be a bit much, and I might need to get something to hang up. Okay, cool. So let's just hope you will see me okay. And if not, at least you can hear me all right. Okay, so let's just start in a seated position. Sometimes I start lying down in my very gentle classes, but I actually find that I personally prefer starting sitting up. So I hope it's okay with you that I always seem to start sitting up. I prefer it in my own class. I mean, if I'm in a class, I quite like to start sitting up, because I quite like to kind of get moving a bit in the day, be upright. So finding that place, that space. Oh, it's the light. Damn. Okay. Apparently, it's probably the light that I'm blurring. Okay. So finding that quiet space, sitting in whatever comfortable seat you wish to sit in. Just becoming aware of how you're feeling today. So check in with your emotions, how your body's feeling. So it doesn't have to necessarily be emotional. That might be live for you, but check in also with how you're feeling physically in this moment. If it's hanging on to anything that's been going on. And then just allow it all to rest. So there's no need to push any of those feelings, sensations, or thoughts away. We can just rest with them, just fully resting. As we inhale, feeling a lifting through the crown. So gentle guiding upwards. So that'll be your shoulders, face and jaw. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, softening. Feeling the whole torso expand as you inhale. And gently relax back towards the spine as you exhale. And then starting our practice together today, let's chant the Om vibration 3 times. Breathing in. Bringing the hands to the heart center. Stretching up. Having a couple of breaths here, stretch. And then bringing the hands behind, opening up the chest while you clasp. Taking a couple of breaths, opening up the chest and the shoulders. Breathing in, stretching up. Taking a breath or two here. Exhale, clasp. Inhale, open. Just taking it quite slowly, so taking a breath or two, depending on the length of your breath, in either position, either up, stretching up, or clasping behind. Exhaling and inhale, opening. Gently moving on the exhale. Inhale, stretching up. Then bringing your 4 fingers together and then clasping the rest of your fingers. And gently rocking from side to side. If you can, you've got your upper arms quite close to your temples and your ears. Otherwise, if you need to, you can open up your elbows. That's fine. And anyone who's just joined, kind of blowiness or the glare is coming from the fact that I'm in our new cabin, which we'll be ready to move into in about a month. And I clearly need to get some curtains. some listen, like muslin curtains or something for this particular reason for our live stream. So really stretching into the side body, If you can keep your arms up, then keep them up. And if you've needed to take a break, then do. Make sure your shoulders and neck are relaxed. And then releasing the arms down and bringing your body back to stillness. You can have a little rest with the arms, but then we'll bring them up so that the hands are on shoulders and the upper arms are parallel with the mat. And we're gently moving from side to side. So this is a twist. Just go as gently as you need to. Remembering that it's likely that this is the first twist of the day. So it'll be however your body's feeling. I get quite stiff around my spine in the morning if I haven't practiced already. Sometimes I do before class and sometimes I can't. And then begin to ease off the motion and bring the arms down. So that's quite strong on the arms. We've had them up for a while, so we'll strong on the shoulders as well. So we'll take a few rotations back. And then a few rotations forward. And then lifting up the shoulders. And then allowing them to drop. And then just have a little look over your left shoulder, exhaling. Inhale forward and then over to the right. Inhale forward, left. So just carry on that way in your own time. Just having a little look over. We're just doing about 3 on either side. So not many. I'm having to keep my eyes closed quite a lot. I've noticed because of the sun. And then over towards your ear. So bringing your, ear over towards your shoulder. Bring your shoulder and your shoulders nice and relaxed, and you can bring your arm out. You can even do a little flow if you want to, just to see how it feels, bring the arm out. Lifting up the arm and touching the mat, just it changes the stretch slightly. And bring your head up and then over to the other side. Lifting up. Have a little flow. And bring your head back up and your neck roll. So looking down and then gently rolling the neck over to the left. Inhaling, arching over so you're not pushing your back too far down. Exhaling down again and up. Inhaling over. Just in your own time. So again, about 3 on either side. And then the other way. So remembering your breath is guiding the movement. So you're inhaling, so you're going down, and then, exhaling is going down. Then inhale, so you're moving over. Bringing your head up. Feeling the lengthening through the spine, softening of the shoulders. And then placing the hands behind, bringing out your feet and rocking the knees from side to side. So it's just a nice way of stretching out your thighs, your lower legs, your hips a little bit. And then bringing the feet together. We'll open the feet like a book and just massage inside, especially inside the arches of your feet. Give them a little bit of a massage. Maybe press into the pads, so you're round about your base of your toes. What are they? I don't know what they're called. I can't remember the name of all the bones, but the little, the bones that are below your toes, the pads of your feet. Maybe if you can reach your heels or the backs of your heels, sometimes that's quite nice. Just see, because you won't be able to reach too much with your feet open like this necessarily. And we'll bring the knees up just a little bit and then down again. So we're doing a little gentle butterfly wing. So it's easy for me to imagine because I'm right in the sun here. Imagine you're a butterfly that's just come out of your chrysalis and you're fanning your wings, drying them off after being inside your little womb, your cocoon. Exhaling as you open. Inhale up. And so your feet might be, sometimes we do the feet really close together, and sometimes we do, close to your groin, and then sometimes quite a bit further away. But I've got mine about in between, so it's just a little bit of an in between Baddha Konasana. So the hands are on the mat in front of you or the floor in front of you, and you can just start to have a stretch out. So you might not be able to come as far forward as if you were in the diamond where your feet are further away, but just see how it is to stretch. And gently lifting up your knees, rolling onto your shins, and then coming and placing your bottom down. So we're coming into what sometimes gets referred to is it's Vajrasana or Vajrasana, I think it is, but it sometimes gets referred to as hero pose or diamond pose if you're sitting up like this. So, but we'll bring ourselves down. So we'll start by, so basically you've got your lower legs outside of your thighs. So it's a full-on quad stretch, and be careful of your knees. So if you've got any kind of knee issues or this hurts at all, then actually you can just do it where you're sitting on, you can just stay up and kneeling and have a little variation, kind of like come back and stuff to stretch out your quads a little bit. So if this is too much, or you could just sit here in the hero pose. But if you can, you're gently, with your thighs together as much as possible, you're gently coming back. This is about as comfortable as I feel with this posture because it's a bit arching on my lower back. And then I can bring my neck back because my neck feels okay. So only if it feels all right on your neck. It's not okay for everyone. Bring your neck back. Now, if you really can do this posture and you come all the way back like this, I'm a little bit too arching really. And hopefully your thighs are, as still together a bit, or as close as possible. And you can bring your arms up so that you're holding your wrists or your forearms. I'm going to come back up to here because that's where it feels good for me, especially first thing in the morning. Morning practice, you're often a bit stiffer. So deep, long, full breaths. And then bringing yourself back up and coming through all fours. So we're not going to be fully in all fours yet. And we'll turn the toes round and come into a hover, holding in up the pelvic floor and your abdominal muscles, nice and strong. And then lifting up and back into half downward dog. So bending the knees first before going into the full expression of downward dog. Encouraging your chest back towards your knees. And then lifting up on your tiptoes into an acute dog. So really as high as you possibly can get. Stretching out the backs of the legs. And then exhaling down your heels. One heel at a time to begin with, because it's nice to have a little walk out. And then if you're still okay up here in downward dog for a little bit longer, you can walk out to the edges of your mat. And you can walk out the hands to the edges of the mat. See how that is, what that's like. Stretching out. Then walk the hands back in a little bit. Walk the feet back in a little bit so they're hip width. Lowering down onto your knees. And then coming into upward cat. Inhale. And then downward cat, looking between your knees and lifting up your pelvic floor and your abdominal muscles. So moving through this Majarasana, cat, with your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then gently bringing the movement back to stillness, opening up the knees, touching the toes, moving back into child. Resting in child, to extended child. So you've got your arms straight ahead. So this version of child is fairly engaged. You're stretching a little bit more. The hands over towards the left. So that you're stretching the right side of your body. And moving the hands right in front of you. And then over to the right. Stretching out the left side of your body. So using your breath, really breathing into the stretch. And bring your hands. Bring yourself back up. Your knees are coming into hip width again. Upward facing cat. Turn the toes round, downward facing dog. And then gently walk the feet towards the hands. And just hang here in Uttanasana, so forward fold. And then bringing the hands to one side and placing your, to the left side, and placing your right hand on the left foot. You'll be bending your right knee a little bit and lifting up your left hand to see how that's okay in the twist. If it's not okay, if twisting's not okay for you, you can just like move over slightly if it feels all right. So you're just keeping your arm down. See how that feels. Otherwise, you can lift up your arm. And then bring your hands forward again, and then gently over to the other side. So left hand, right foot, lifting up the right arm, bending the left knee a little bit. So again, remember to modify if this is too much. And then bringing yourself forward again, lifting up through the arches of the feet and lifting your toes up. Gently stack one vertebra at a time. So we're bringing ourselves slowly up, curving the spine. Of course, the head will be last. Just going as slowly as you possibly can until you can come up to standing. And standing here in Tadasana. So your tail is slightly tucked in, your tailbone. Your shoulders a little bit open, so you're kind of, it's like you're standing against a wall and you're able to flatten your shoulders up against the wall. Lift up your pelvic floor a tiny bit, see how it is. Feeling the lengthening, the golden thread lifting you from the crown of your head. And if you lift up through the arches of your feet, you're engaging the arches of your feet. It helps keep your legs strong and stops the feet wanting to collapse in towards each other, which can happen. So it's because we're wearing shoes so much, really. Our arches are often collapsing in slightly. So lifting up your toes and then place, and then the fourth toe, third toe, second toe, and then the big toe, placing down and seeing if you can, how wide you can get your feet. Soft shoulders and face. Hands into an extended mountain. Bring the hands through Namaste, bending the knees and coming down into Uttanasana and straightening the knees. And inhaling, placing the shins somewhere on your legs with a flat back. Exhale down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale down, having a little flow through Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, strong on the legs. Exhale down. Take a breath in and then exhale back to downward dog. Take a couple of breaths here in downward dog. Nice deep breaths, encouraging your chest back towards your knees. Encouraging your heels down towards the, the mat, if they're happy to go near that mat. Take a breath in and coming forward into plank. So depending on how you're feeling this morning, it's either lowering the knees down. You can keep yourself up if you want something a bit more dynamic. And breathing in, lower the knees down, the chest down, and the chin down on the exhale. Having a moment here in Ashtangasana. This is an 8-point posture. So the 8 points are your chest, your chin, your hands, your knees, and your feet. Ashtanga means 8. Bring yourself gently down onto the mat. And then inhaling up, little cobra. Exhale down. Relax. Inhale up, maybe a little bit higher. See how that feels? Bhujangasana, the cobra. Exhale down. Turning the toes round. Back onto the knees. Back into downward dog. Just having a couple of breaths here. And then we will bring our feet, one foot, doesn't matter which one foot then the other, into hip width apart, into a flat back Uttanasana. Inhaling up and then exhale forward, full Uttanasana. You can even put the hands behind the calves. See how that is? We'll take a few breaths here in Uttanasana. That can be quite nice, actually. A different thing where you're clasping your arms, your forearms, around the backs of your legs. But you might be needing to. And then inhale up. Inhaling, lifting the arches of your feet and the toes. Exhale. Hands to the heart. Lovely. Ooh, we did a little sun salutation. That's a novelty. Okay, let's see what we can do next. Inhale up. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold again. Take a couple of breaths in downward dog. We're just taking things slowly. We don't need to go very fast. And then exhale. On the next exhale, bring yourself into plank. So you're not coming down like this, or we're not lifting our bums up like that. We're in a flat plank if possible. See if you can do that. If not, lower your knees down. So you don't have to be doing this. And I'm not quite so sure about men, but for women, it really depends on the time of the month. Holding yourself in plank. And if you want to, you can lower the knees down, bring yourself down, or you can come down in chaturanga and then bring yourself down. So we're on our forearms and we're rocking the hips from side to side. You don't have to rock if it feels too much as well. And then bringing yourself down. Having a little rest on one side. And then we're going to go into alternate arm and leg lifts. So these are very gentle back bends. But they're good for strengthening, really good for strengthening your core and your back and your bum, your arms. Okay, take a breath in to prepare. Exhale the right arm and the left leg. You could keep your head down if it feels better, or you get your head up a little bit. Exhale down. If you're taking breath up there, then exhaling. We're exhaling on the movement. Breath in, and then exhale, left arm, right leg. Taking a breath up here. And exhaling on the movement. left leg, and left arm, right leg. Exhale. And then gently bring yourself back. And if you come back onto your knees and back into downward dog, I'm just going to speak to a community member. And I think he might have left something in here. So stay in your downward dog. Give yourself some
jigsaw.
Oh yeah, do you need it?
Yes, jigsaw. Yes.
Oh yeah, great. So someone needs the jigsaw. We're in a building site. So just stay in your downward dog and then come back down to onto all fours if you need to. He's probably put it back in the workshop because it's, or did he say it's up here?
He said it was up here.
Oh, come and have a look then.
Sorry.
That's fine. That's what happens when you're doing so. So then coming back to, to all fours if you haven't already. Coming up into upward facing cat. And then downward facing cat. So having a look between the knees. Upward facing cat. And then downward facing cat. So lifting up the pelvic floor and your abdominal muscles. And then we'll bring out the right leg and we'll give it a little movement. Sky, it's probably, if you need it, it'll be in the back there with all the tools. So stretching out the right leg. And then lifting up the right leg and giving it a little bit of a shake. And then bringing your leg forward, your right leg forward, and exhaling back. So you're stretching out your hamstrings. Inhale forward, stretching out your hip. Let's do this a few times. So you can have it. So I think it's in the workshop. Yeah. Inhale forward. That's funny. Exhale back. It's funny, I've been doing this in the community centre for like months and nobody's come in. Or they've not interrupted me if they have come in. They've come near it. That's really funny. Okay, inhale forward. And then turning around and coming up onto your back and bring your back knee up and we'll clip down the back foot. So we're going to come to warrior one rather than a lunge because quite often we come to lunge with this one. But we'll come into warrior one. So it's heel to heel alignment and then facing forwards, really tucking in the tummy, having a look forwards. And then bringing the arms up. So if you feel like you're hanging on for dear life onto the mat with your toes, just lift them up and place them gently down. And you can see your big toe past your knee. So inside your knee, you can see your big toe. So your knee is over the ankle. Bring the hands then with warrior one, they're either straight ahead or they can be clasped above you. So you're in namaste above your head. And then bring the arms open, heel toe, the foot, so that it's now heel to arch alignment. Coming out into warrior two. Let's have a little movement into our heart. So we're bringing our hands to the heart center for a moment. Taking a breath here. And then exhale, opening up again. So these are gentle warrior postures. So we're keeping ourselves strong. Back to the heart. Opening up. Keeping ourselves strong, but we're also just, we're peaceful warriors. Opening up. And remember, especially for women, just lifting a little bit through your pelvic floor. It's always good for men too. And then coming forward to Pajvakonasana. So you're keeping yourself contained from your root lock, your Mula Bandha. And so there's a fairly straight line. Can you see this kind of like fairly straight line running across? And you're just resting on this arm. You're not collapsing onto it. You're just resting with real integrity in this posture. Then bringing yourself up, warrior two, turning the right hand over, or your front hand, whichever it is for you, and coming back into peaceful warrior. And bringing yourself back up, warrior two, clasping behind, opening up the chest, so you're clasping your hands behind, and then coming down into humble warrior. So really you're inside your knee now. Your chest is inside your knee. Then you bring your arms up behind you as much as they want to go. So you're stretching out your shoulders. Remember to lift up Mula Bandha, opening up the chest. And then releasing. Warrior two, turning towards the front of the mat. Bringing yourself down and forward. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. Walking the feet out if you need to. If it feels like that's a long time on your leg, you could even shake out your right leg. If that was the one that was your bent leg, it felt a long time. Bringing yourself down. Upward cat. Downward facing cat. And just keep doing your cat movements. I'm just going to have a drink of water. Right, okay. Turning your toe, oh no, don't turn your toes over actually. So you're bringing your left leg out and you'll get rocking on your left leg. And then lifting up your left leg and giving a little shake out. And bringing the foot up to your hands, so it's on the outside edge of your hands. But it can be, if it's too much your hip and you want to, like with this one, you can always put it on the inside of your arms, because sometimes it does open your hip more if you're doing on the outside edge. Exhale back, stretching out your hamstrings. Inhale forward. Oh, lots of nice deep breaths. So remembering your breath is guiding you as you move. You can go as slowly as you want to. Inhale forward, turning the toes around, so you're coming up like you're coming to a runner's lunge here. And then clip in the back heel, back foot. And so it's about 45 degrees, or a bit more actually with warrior one. And your heel to heel alignment. Lifting up your arms straight ahead. And then coming into warrior two. I'll do it so that I'm facing, rather than changing around, I'll do it just so that you can see my back. So your heel to arch alignment. Remember, your big toe is over, your knee is over your ankle, and you can see your big toe inside the inside of your knee. So your thighs are nice and open, hips are open. Tuck in the tailbone if your back is slightly arched, just tuck it in. Opening up your arms. Then bringing the arms to the heart, again the hands to the heart. Taking a breath here. exhale, open up. Breath, and then exhale to the heart. Breath. Exhale. Breath. And then exhale. And then bring the arms open. And coming down into Parsvakonasana. Remember, you're not collapsing. You're just really just gently resting. And if your feet need to relax a little bit, you can lift them up and then place them down. And then lift through the arch of your foot, your back foot, especially, but both feet, especially your back foot. So there's a line running across here. And then bring yourself back up into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Back into Peaceful Warrior. So the hand, your right hand is on your, clasping the hands behind. So this is the clasp. You could have your hands close, your palms close together or a bit further apart. And then bring yourself down into Humble Warrior on the inside of your knee. And your clasped hands will probably open up a little bit. And again, always lift up the chest. Warrior 2. And then facing forward, placing your hands down. And then back into downward facing dog. That's pretty strong, isn't it? And shake out your left leg if you feel like you've spent a long time on that left leg and you want to shake out. Lowering the knees down, upward cat. Opening up the knees a little bit to make room and then coming back into downward dog. Not downward dog, Balasana, child. And then lift up with your knees apart and your your toes together. Gently bring yourself down into Anahatasana. It's just a really lovely stretch. It might be hard, can be difficult for some people, and it's certainly not very comfortable, but it's a really good stretch for your back. If it feels okay. Obviously, if it's not a good stretch for your back, don't do it. And then gently bring yourself back up. Ah, nice. Turning your feet or your legs around and coming into seated. We'll bring thinking of what's a nice one to do. I can't remember if we did this last time or not, but we'll bring the heel into the left heel into the right hip area, and then the right knee is facing up and the foot is in at the thigh, the left thigh. So we're coming into Ardha Matsyendrasana, the half spinal twist. So placing your hand behind. Remember, you can actually, if you need to, you can keep your left leg straight, and that's completely valid thing to do. Lifting up your left arm and then placing, you can do a lever like this. So you're placing your elbow onto your knee thigh area and you're kind of leaving yourself around, or you can just hug like this. Take a little, put your forearm in. And so deep breaths. Lots of nice, long breaths. It's lovely. So every time you inhale, there's a lengthening through the crown of the head. And every time you exhale, there's a softening a little bit more into the posture. And inhale, lengthen. And exhale over to the left side and having a little bow down to the left. And then changing sides. So your left leg is on top, foot in at the right thigh, and your right little heel is in at your buttock, your left buttock. Lifting up the right arm, you're placing your left hand behind, and then lift up the right arm, and you can lever, which I quite like to do, or otherwise you can hug. You can just take a gentle embrace of your leg. Inhaling, lifting, and exhale, softening a bit more into the twist. Gently using your breath to move out of the twist. So lengthening through top of the head, and then exhale back over and having a little bow to the other side. Gently bring yourself up and out of the posture and place your feet down at the top of the mat. And bring yourself down. Exhale yourself down onto the mat. And you can bring your knees in for a little bit and have a little knee hug, moving from side to side. And then bringing in your right knee, squeezing in your right knee, exhaling the knee towards you, bring it in towards your armpit. Just knee or ribs, but you're kind of trying to avoid your ribs a little bit. Flexing the left leg, and that's nice and long. This is a great stretch for your psoas muscle. Releasing the leg a little bit that you're squeezing in, and lift up the left leg so that it's the knees facing the ceiling, and then draw in the left leg. Place the right leg so the ankle is over the thigh, and then draw in the left leg. So you're bringing both your legs in into a reclined pigeon. So you've either got your hands behind your thigh or over your shin. It's a little bit more intense over your shin. Holding it a little bit more. And flex your right foot so that you've got a nice engaged right foot. The other foot's really not that important, actually. It's just a little waggly thing. It doesn't need to, it's not so involved in the posture. But your stretch is in your right glute muscles, all the way down the right side of your hip and your thigh. And then placing down your legs, so you can bring them so that they're both stretched out, and then bringing the left knee in towards you, breathing the left knee in for exhaling, engaging the right foot, right leg. The right leg's long, but you can have bent knee, of course. This is a psoas stretch on this side. And then placing your left foot down with your knee facing the ceiling, and then bringing your right ankle over your thigh, your quad area, your left quad area, and then you're bringing in your legs again. So your hands are behind your thigh or your shin. Have I just done the same one? Oh, sorry, it's the other one, isn't it? Sorry, it's the other one. Don't copy me, because we're stretching out your left buttock area this time. So yeah, do exactly the same but on the other side, to make sure that you basically, whatever it is you're doing, you're stretching out the other side. And then placing the legs back down after breathing them in. That's nice. Okay, we'll start to roll the hips up. So we're keeping the knees hip width apart, the feet hip width apart, the hands are down by your side, and you're exhaling your hips towards you. Just gently curling your spine, your sacrum area, and your probably first lumbar vertebra. And then start each time to move a little bit further up. So you're picking up a few more of your big lumbar vertebra. Actually, I can't remember if it's one vertebra, one vertebrae. If anyone knows that at the end, would you put that in? If I could look it up, I'm just suddenly having a mind blank. So with your breath, you're slowly going up a little bit more. So you're probably up to your thoracic spine now. Slightly smaller vertebra. I just remember it's the first word that my sister learnt, because my brother was really annoying. My sister was 10 years younger than my brother and 8 years younger than me. And he used to try and teach her words. And he had learnt it in school, the word vertebrae. So continue with your movements, going a bit further up, probably up to the shoulder blades now. And then gently, you're placing one vertebra at a time. Oh, it's vertebrae, isn't it? Sorry. One vertebra at a time. Vertebra was more than one together. Okay, so one vertebrae at a time. Yeah, so he came home, one vertebra at a time back onto mat, that's what I'm trying to say. And then you're peeling it off. So being really gentle. He would come home from school and then teach her words. And so her first word was abray, abray, abray. She used to repeat a lot. Abray, 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 because it was vertebrae. It was actually her first word. Few too many syllables for a little one. And then bringing you'll be coming up a little bit further. You'll be coming probably by now, with all my talking, you'll be up onto your shoulders into full bridge, keeping and then you can carry on flowing for a bit, but keeping your knees and your feet hip width apart. Really strong in your buttocks. And now we're up. When you're up, if you come up with me as well, if we're together, now we're in bridge posture. And we can lower the hips down. If it feels okay to do this, lower the hips down. Inhale up and then exhale down. This is a strengthening of your glute muscles. Inhale up and exhale down, keeping your knees so that they're hip width, making sure that you're nice and strong. Careful of your lower back. So you're engaging your pelvic floor and your abdominal muscles, your core muscles to support you. You don't have to do this bobbing up and down, by the way. Just a nice little glute strengthening. And then gently place your spine back down to the mat and your hips back down, bringing the knees into the chest and have a little rock round. Placing the feet back onto the mat. Now, I don't know, I'm wondering who is here. I know he was here. Not sure who was here. So I'm going to take you into halasana, which is plow, but I want you to be super careful, because if it's something you're not used to, because we'll start with a half shoulder stand. We won't do full shoulder stand. But if it's something you're not used to, be really careful. And you can even, like, you know, pad yourself out a little bit if you feel like you need to, but bring your knees into the chest and then swing yourself up without moving. From now on, don't move your neck. So, or try not to move your neck. So hopefully, if you don't know what you're doing, just stop and watch me, and then you could always do it afterwards. So we're in half shoulder stand. That's because, can you see, I'm actually bent in my hips. So I'm not doing the full shoulder stand where you kind of like come up, which I'm not going to show you. But my hands are behind my hips, my kind of sacrum area there, which is my lumbar spine really. And then my thumbs are on my hip bones in the front. And then we're coming back into halasana. So this is plow. So you might be up here, that's fine, or you might have your feet right down onto the mat. See how that is? Depends on how flexible your spine's feeling today, or at all. Just be really careful with your neck. So please don't turn your head when you're in this posture. Just trust what you're doing is okay. Or get up and watch me. I'm fiddling with things behind me. I've got quite a few things behind me. Take a few breaths in halasana and then bring yourself back up to the half shoulder stand. I forgot to say, if you're menstruating, it's not that it's unsafe to do this. It's just that it's encouraging your bleeding to go, you know, it's not so good for your bleed, because it's encouraging yourself to go in the other direction. But I've done it while menstruating. It is a bit funny, but it's not that it actually hurts you really. And then start to bring yourself down. You just wouldn't want to practice it a lot while menstruating. Not so good for the flow. And then bring the knees into the chest. Have a little rock around. And gently come down into Shavasana. Unless you need a bit more, actually, we have got time to have a little bit of happy baby, I've just realised. So you could come into happy baby. Or open your legs. Oh, that's a nice one. Open your legs out, either with your hands on your thighs or the strap, or putting your hands on your toes, whatever it is. Reclining wide leg posture. And when you're ready, you can either come down to Shavasana or have a little moment in Supta Baddha Konasana where you have your feet together and your knees wide apart and you're lying there. Either way, you can start to think of a warm, padded blanket, and you can stay for as long as you want in Supta Baddha Konasana. And just feel into how you are. And if you need to make your way down to Shavasana with the legs stretched out, please do. And again, coming back to your feelings, like how you're feeling, your emotions, how you were this morning when we started. Just see how you are now. Feel into your emotions. And then any sensations in the body. And any thoughts that come. Noticing what's going on. And just letting them be exactly how they are. Letting your mind and your body and your emotional body, let them just be. There's no judgment. This moment in the heart space where everything that is welcome. Feeling your body heavy on the mat. Feeling yourself cradled and supported. Enveloped by loving support. You might feel it. It might manifest as external, which is wonderful, from other people. Really feeling held by yourself. Feeling looked after. And a gentle, nurturing support is like a warm blanket resting on the front of your body. And gently embracing the back of your body. Feeling the warmth relaxing you. All your muscles gently relaxing. Notice any area of tension. Just remind that area that can completely relax. You're fully supporting yourself. You're fully held. Held by the world around you. Held by yourself. And just rest here for a little bit longer. Fully allowing your body to integrate practice, physical practice. And then when you're ready, you can begin to deepen your breath and find a little bit of movement in your fingers and your toes. Find movements that help you wake up. So you might want to stretch your whole body out, right from your fingers down to your toes, and take any yawns. I want to bring your knees into the chest and have a little rock from side to side. And finding yourself onto the side of your body. And gently bring yourself back up to seated. With your eyes closed, You can bring your hands into Namaste, the heart. Inhale, lifting up, stretching up, your hands together. Exhale, flowing behind you and clasping. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale, up. Exhale. Inhale, open. Inhale, up. Opening up into Prana Mudra, wide arms. Inhale, up. Hands down to the heart. Completing together with Om vibration 3 times, finishing with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bring the hand into Prana Mudra above the head. Taking 3 deep, life-affirming breaths. And then above the head, down through the centers of the crown, third eye, throat, and the heart. Namaste. And thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. And hopefully see you again next week. I think we haven't got many left. Maybe 1 left. I'm not sure. Yeah, I hope that was a nice morning wake up and that you could actually see me a little bit. I'm not sure. Made it easier for me to see myself. But I'm not sure if you could actually see me. Just checking who's still here. So, yeah. Eve, are you still here? Great, so that's nice. Yeah, you were still here. You were here the whole time. That's nice. Yeah, so I don't know who the other person was. Or the other 2 people, I don't know. Anyway, so it's nice doing a class together, wasn't it? That was nice. I need to do some nidras. I realised we have like 1/4 hour and do like a proper dribbling nidra where I actually take through the whole body scan and everything. That's like something I should be doing. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm sorry. I'm not very good at staying up late, as you know. But that was nice for me because it was a nice slow class in the sun. Okay, well, I better go and let you go. But have a lovely day and lots of love and see you again soon.